My name is Jeanette Clegg. I live in the northwest of England with my husband Timothy and our little dog Zach. This is my channel where I chat about my love of crafts. I'm a very keen crochet lady. I knit, crochet person. I crochet. I knit, I sew, and any other things that I can turn my hand to. So yeah, my channel is all about my love of crafting and sharing it with you. There is other snippets in there, maybe about life, our children. We have grandchildren, and Tim and I are now retired, so hopefully when the coronavirus restrictions are easing now, so we might be able to get out a bit more and do a few more things, and I will take you along with me on journeys that I have and share those with you too. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much for coming back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome, and I hope that you enjoy my little time with you where I just talk about everything crafty. Talking about subscribers, before we go any further, I have almost reached 600 subscribers. I know, wow, 600, that is just amazing. So I decided that I'm going to do a giveaway. So when I reach 600 subscribers, I'm going to give this skein of yarn away. Let me show you, let me get it right. This is hand dyed by myself and Tim. Now, a couple of months ago, Tim and I did this, and I asked my viewers of this podcast if they could come up with any names. And because I put it away, I completely forgot to tell you what I'd chosen. So I'm giving this away with oh, you might not be able to see that. Let me do this. Let me spread them all out. Tim's made these with an assortment of stitch markers. We've got scissors. I should have put them on a card, shouldn't I, really? Sewing machine, mannequin, buttons and thread, and I think there's one more. Let me just say, oh yeah, I don't know why I've put this one in, but I quite liked it, and it's a high chair, or I think it's a high chair. Is that focusing? Yeah. So I'm going to give this set of stitch markers away with it. So back to this. So yeah, it's a sock yarn. It's 4-ply sock yarn. This 400 meters, and it's 75% merino and 25% nylon. And like I say, I did ask you what you thought, and the name that I come up with was what one of my viewers had left, and it's Sunrise to Sunset. So that's the name of that. So I'm going to give this away when I reach 400 subscribers, and like I said, there'll be a few other bits to go with it. So all you have to do to be in with a chance of this is obviously hit the subscribe button, thumbs up, and leave a comment below. And in your comment, if you can just write, I'm a subscriber, and then I will do a random pick, get YouTube to randomly pick out the I'm a subscriber, and we'll choose a winner. And I shall do that on my next podcast. So that's that. And like I said, there will be a few other things. So I can't quite remember off the top of my head which lady, and I will find out for next time, and I will give her a little prize too. I'd come up with Sunrise to Sunset, but I will find out, and next time I'll give you something too. I like giving stuff away. So there, that's that. So that's that out of the way. So yeah, how is everybody? How's everybody keeping? Are you doing all right? Tim and I are fine. We're just plodding on. We're trying our best. We're walking every day still. We're trying to eat healthy. We're trying to exercise as much as we can. Trying to keep busy in the craft room. But I'm finding in the craft room at the moment that I've got that much time. I think I can do everything, and I'm sure I've mentioned this before. So I've sort of I don't know how to explain. I've just sort of tried to slow down a bit. I've not done as much crafting as I normally do. I've tried to do other things. I've enjoyed being in the garden. Not that I'm a massive gardener, because I'm not. but I've tried to sit in the garden and maybe read, and we've walked more than we normally would. We have had our granddaughter over for a week, which was really, really nice. That was just such a nice distraction. And she's so good, our little granddaughter. It's the same as, I'm sure, many people who have grandchildren out there. We've got 2 granddaughters, put them together, and they fight like cat and dog. Put them separate, and both of them are not a bit of trouble, and it was just lovely. We went on a couple of rides out with her. She was very, very good. We took her to the supermarket one day with us, and she was quite happy to put a mask on. She was very sensible. But this is the new normal now, isn't it? So getting them out there and getting them used to it is what our intentions was. And she was really good. She took it all in a stride. She's only 9, and she, yeah, like I said, she took it all in a stride, and we had a really, really lovely week. So obviously, while she was here for a week, I did very, very little crafting, because obviously I wanted to enjoy the time with her. So yeah, I have got a little bit to show you, but not very much. So we've got, this is how it's going to go. We've got finished objects, we've got works in progress, and we've got things that I'd like to make that I've got out, and a little bit of incoming. And a bit of woodwork. There you go, this is new. A bit of woodwork on the channel. Anyway, I'll show you that and speak to you about that as we're going on. Can you just bear with me one second? Sorry about that. I'll just have a sip of my tea. And I think we'll start with finished objects. So the first thing I finished was this little bird. I'm sure that many of you are aware that Dawn and I, from Dawn's days, are doing a make-along at the moment. It is the Yarn Bird Mal 2020. We did extend it until the end of this month due to life events. That's all I'm going to say. I'm sure if many of you watch Dawn and I, you know what's been going on in our lives. And I just decided that I wanted to make, because we'd extended it, I'd like to make something else. Now, unfortunately, I'm rubbish at this. I can't find the pattern. But if I find it, I will leave all the links. Not links, no, I'm not doing the links because I'm not good with stuff like that. But I will leave everything in the description box below, the name of what it is and where you can find it. So I made this little bird. It was a very, very quick make, really enjoyable. Like I say, yeah, really quick make. I think I made it in a night. I'm going to attach some, what's it called? The thread, like fishing line, so you can't see it basically. I'm going to attach some fishing line, and I've got this and my seagull, and I am going to make more seagulls, and I'm going to hang them in my corner up here. If I can just turn, can you see this bare bit here? Well, I'm going to try and make quite a few of these, or birds or anything, and hang them here. So that's what I'm going to do. So that was the first thing. I made it from cotton, and I used yarn and colour. Don't know if you can see that. Is it focusing? Yeah. Yarn and colour, and I think I did it on a 3.5mm hook. So that's my first finished object. Then the next thing I made, this one is for my friend Dawn. I've not sent it off yet, but I will do when I've shown it to you. And Dawn's signature picture is a bee. So again, I'm not sure of this, where I got this pattern from, and I will leave it in the description box below if I can find it, in the description box below. And it's a little bumblebee. So I thought that was really rather cute. Again, didn't take long at all. Made it from the same yarn and colour, cotton, safety eyes, little bit of embroidering on the nose. And again, I used a 3.5mm hook. And I will put, I will do like a hanging, like a chain, and just do something for it to hang off. So yeah, I'm going to send that over to Dawn at some point soon. So that's the other thing that I finished. Let me just have a sip, sorry. The next thing, I actually remembered to save this. I very rarely print off any of my patterns because I have an iPad and I like to keep them all in my iPad, in my iBooks. So I only ever normally print off the front page so I can show you a picture when I'm podcasting to see, so you can see what I'm making. So I've just printed off the front page of this. It is a little bit scruffy because I've used it as a notes. So this is the Ladybug gnome, and this pattern is by Happy Dolls Pattern. She's on Instagram. She's got lots of other ones as well. So this is one of my other finished objects. So here he is. This is the gnome, and this is the butterfly. Not butterfly, ladybug. Anybody that knows me well knows that I love gnomes, mushrooms, anything like this. I love things like this. I like crocheting anything, well, anything gnomey and mushroomy. If I see it, I just have to have it. So yeah, this is done in Shippy's Stonewash, and again I think I used a 3.5mm hook. His hat does come off. It's just a bald gnome, and all the hat is made in one. Oops. So yeah, that's my other finished object. This is, I can't remember what this is. It's a King Cole yarn, this one, and it's a furry one. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Again, if I can remember, I'll put it down below. So yeah, that's my other finished object. Not really a lot to show for 2 weeks, is it? But like I say, it's not really been 2 weeks. It's only been a week because Lola's been here. I had a bit of a disaster with my stillness shawl. I almost got to the end of part 2, and I'm not the best knitter in the world. I'm not going to say I am, and I certainly don't do a lot of laced yarn, lace knitting rather. And I think what I'd done, I'd finished part 1 and got into part 2 and was feeling very confident, and realised that on my yarn overs where you were supposed to make the lace, I was knitting the stitch wrong. I was knitting into the front of the stitch instead of the back of the stitch to make it into a hole that produces the pattern. And stupidly, I just hadn't noticed, and I was just carrying on, and I thought, this looks really nice, it looks really neat. And then my friend Susan said, how far are you on your stillness shawl? And I said, oh yeah, I'm doing such and such a thing. How have you got on? Anyway, she sent me a picture, and I said, mine doesn't look like that. Mine has got no holes in it. Anyway, she sent me a message and said, yeah, you need to start again. So I ripped it back to part 1, and that's where I am at the moment. So you've seen basically where I'm up to with my stillness shawl. But yeah, I was really upset about it, and I got quite cross, and Tim said, like, what are you getting so cross for? And I said, because, you know, I just seem to be making the most silliest mistakes, and it's so frustrating. But, you know, I ripped it back, put it back on its needles, went to bed, had a good night's sleep, got up in the morning, and I actually felt much better about it. And I thought, look, there's nothing you can do about it. You've messed up, you've messed up, so just start over again. So that's what I'm going to do. So that is the saga of the stillness shawl. So the next section is works in progress, and it's mostly sewing. I've got 1 crocheted item and 2 sewing items, so I'll show you the crocheted one first. I showed you this last time. These are them projects that need to get finished, that's under the table in the corner, and I try not to look under there when I come in. I was hoping to have this finished, but I haven't. And I did and ah about showing you this, and I thought, well, yeah, you know, this is what my podcast is about, you know, to show you my progress of how I'm going on with my things and what I'm doing. So I am going to show you. Let me just get, so this is the Cloud 9 cardigan by Iron Lamb. And I have made quite a bit of progress on it, really. Let me show you. So, from last time, I think last time I just finished the bobbles. Well, now I've finished, okay, let me lift it up further. I've finished the bobbles, and I've done the bobbles, oh, what do you call this? Ribbon. I've done all round the neck, picked up and done the band all round the neck, and it's just an edge to edge, so I've picked up and done the ribbon there, and now I'm onto a sleeve, so I'm that far onto the sleeve. Now, I am not a lover of long sleeves. I like my sleeves about 3/4. I'm not a massive lover of them down here, so I think I'm just going to do short sleeves, not because I want to save time, but because I just don't want them very long. So I think, I mean, it says on the pattern, it says, I think it's another 12 rows I have to do. You have to decrease every other row, and it says another 12 rows. Well, I think I'm going to start decreasing every row now, just to taper it off and get it to like my elbow. But yeah, it's not finished, but I'm getting there. And again, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I just, I've said to other people before, and I can't remember who I was talking to, and somebody had said it to me, that as a podcaster, you sort of feel like you have to rush because you want to be able to show your viewers things, and you know, sometimes it can put a little bit of stress on you, and that's not what this is about. So I just had a good talking to myself and decided I can only show you what I can show you. So yeah, that's how far I've got on that. But again, hopefully I'll have it finished for next time. If life events happen and it can't be, then it you know, it won't be, will it? So that's the first thing that's nearly finished. And then the other thing I'm doing, which you've seen this before, and again, I've not got as far as I'd like, but again, life events, is my, I'm terrible. Seasonal sampler quilt by Emma Jones of the Vintage Sewing Box. So I'm on to the spring section now. So I've done all the hexagons and put them in this section, and I just got 3 solid ones there that I need to embroider, either a lazy daisy, or I've had a look on YouTube a couple of times now for different embroidery stitches, and I quite like the rows, but I don't know if the rows might be too built up, so I might try that. But I'm hoping today, because we're only walking today, and a friend of mine is going to ring later, so I haven't really got much planned other than a walk and a chat with a friend, and I'm going to try and stitch this on while I'm on the phone chatting. So hopefully I'll get that section finished. Then there's this section next, which is a lot of embroidery. If you just bear with me 1 second, I'll be back and I'll show you.
See if I've got it.
So this is the next section. Look at all that embroidery on there. This really scares me because I'm not the best at embroidery. And I know that they say practice makes perfect. That was my first one I did, which I don't think is too bad, but it certainly isn't the best. So yeah, I'm hoping to get that done sometime today, and then this one here goes in the middle there. I am behind with this. I think Emma's finished the make along now, but I do tend to get behind with everything that I do because, well, I just, yeah, and I don't think it's trying to keeping up with everybody, is it? I think it's taking part that makes you know, that matters, isn't it? So that's my bit of sewing. Excuse me. And then my other little bit of sewing, again, I've joined a make along. This one is the Night Before Christmas stocking, and it's a Hexagon Christmas stocking with a felt pocket mouse, and it's by Molly and Mama. And this is the first week, so if anybody wants to join in, it's an absolutely beautiful stocking. I mean, I don't know, I haven't made it, but I love it, absolutely love it. And I'm actually going to make this for me. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I've put pictures of the fabrics that I'm going to use. I mean, I will show you. And I very rarely make stuff like this for, well, you don't, well, I don't. I very rarely make stuff like this for myself. I usually make things like this for the granddaughters or my grandson and give it, you know, and give them to them. But I've just decided that this is going to be me, and I'm actually going to hang it on my bedpost, and you never know. Santa Claus might come and bring me some goodies. I.e. Tim. So I am using, this is called Trixie. I think it's a Riley and Blake fabric, and it's called Trixie, and the designer is Heather Moss. So it's not at all Christmassy, but I didn't want it. I mean, I'm not saying that I won't do another one that might be Christmassy, but this is the one that I wanted. So there's strawberries. I've cut out the hexagons ready, and I'm going to, this, like I said, this week you're just gathering supplies. So this is what I did last night. So there's, not last night, the night before, strawberries. Then there's just green and white check. These are just delightful, I love these. Then there's the little mice. And then there's strawberries again, but different colour. And then mice again, but a different colour. And then this candy stripe. And they look, I mean, I don't know if I can pick them all up. Don't they look lovely together? So that is my next project. This week, like I say, with that, you have to, you buy the pattern and you collect your supplies. I have ordered some Milliner's number 9 needles, and basically I've got everything else. And normally when I do hexagons, I usually use a glue pen. I have a, it's not here at the moment, I don't know where it is. Oh, I'll show you, bear with me. I have a glue pen like this, that I glue base my hexagons together. And I was watching somebody again on YouTube the other day, and I think I might have a go at basing them with a stitch, because it looks like it's much easier to get the papers out from, and because I'm not using preformed ones for these, the hexiforms, I have actually cut out papers. And it seems like it's a lot easier to get the papers out when you do the basting stitch. I find that when I use a glue pen, my only thing with this is when you use a glue pen, if you need to take papers out, it can be really difficult. It can fray the fabric and make it look untidy, and I don't like that. So I think I'm going to sit and just stitch them. So that's another thing that I've got going. I have had a couple of things arrive. I told you last week that I'd ordered some yarn from Becca of Back to Blighter to make my mittens out of my Harry Potter book, and the mittens have arrived, or the wool have arrived. No, the mittens haven't arrived, the wool's arrived. But I forgot the book downstairs, so if you bear with me, I shall go. Okay, the first thing that's come is my yarn from Becca of Back to Blighter. I don't know if you remember, I showed you my Harry Potter book in the last episode, and I wanted to make the mittens, these mittens, and they are called Expecto Patronum mittens. Man, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Expecto Patronum mittens. And I absolutely love the colour. So I got in touch with Becca from Back to Blighty and asked her if she would dye me some yarn up. Anyway, it's arrived and it is absolutely the perfect match. Isn't that gorgeous? I was so pleased when it came. Absolutely thrilled. Yeah, so that's from Becky from Back to Blighty. Let me show you like that, can you see? And it is 80% superwash, BFL, 20% nylon, and it's 50 grams of each and 182 metres, and I love it. So that has got to get cast on sometime this week. I'm going to have a cast on week this week, so that's them. That arrived. So pleased with them. I don't know if Becky watches my podcast, but if you do, Becky, thank you so very much. I love them. It's exactly what I wanted. And the yarn is just so soft and beautiful because I'm not good with wool. I can't wear anything around my neck for very long. And yeah, so I love it. Thank you very much, Becca. So that's one thing. Now, this other thing I want to show you, I've had it for a while and I seem to be getting more and more into sewing. I love sewing. I like it because I can do it at night time downstairs, hand sewing I mean. I can do it at night time downstairs with Tim. I always feel very guilty because I could spend all day in here. I could spend all day and all night in here. I potter around, I cut out, I mess about. I mean, if people have craft rooms, they know what it's like. You can just always find something to do, can't you? And I do sometimes feel guilty if I've spent a lot of time in my craft room and Tim is downstairs on his own. I know he says he doesn't mind, but you know, I just feel bad. So I was looking for things in my stash. I've got lots of things in the stash that I've bought and not got round to doing yet. And last year, my friend and I, Sue, we was big into making lunar lapping. I'm sure you've all heard of lunar lapping from the store Cool Crafting. And last year she bought out a new creature. She brings out new creatures quite a lot. And last year's creature I should say, there was two last year I think. There was this and a dog, was Daisy the sheep. So I bought the kit, I've cut it all out ready, and all the felt for it is in here. So I'm going to cut, like I said, I've already done the pattern, so I'm going to cut that out and try and make this. And Sue, my friend, went out for, before lockdown this was, Sue, my friend, went out for a day and she just happened to be near the shop, the Cool Crafting shop in Kent, and she nipped in and I said to her, oh, while you're there, can you get me the dress for Daisy the sheep? So this is the pattern and the dress for Daisy. And it comes with everything that you need to make it. There's all the bits and pieces here, the netting for underneath it, everything that you need to make a dress. So I'm hoping that I'll get that made as well. So that's something that's on my list. And another incoming thing, I actually don't know if I've shown you these, but I don't think I have. I might have put them on in my Instagram feed, but I don't think I've shown you. I've had these about, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks now. Maybe not that long actually, maybe 2. And I'm trying to get a nice collection of Tilda fabrics. I'm trying to get a nice collection of Tilda and the same with Liberty. The Liberty fabrics I am just buying, as you all know, I think it's fat 16ths or long 16ths, something like that, but they're only very small pieces and they're very affordable. But if you're doing a lot of English paper piecing, which I seem to be doing quite a lot of at the moment, it's absolutely a brilliant way to collect lots of different fabrics that's affordable and luxury. I mean, to me that is a luxury, as is Tilda. So every now and then when I've got a little bit of spare cash, I tend to order a fat quarter of a different type of fabric, and I'm starting a stash of Tilda. So these are the ones that I've got. I don't know what they're called. I don't know what range they're out of, but I will show them to you. So that one and I think this one go together quite nicely. I don't know what I'm going to make with them. I have got a Tilda book that I will show you. These two go together quite nicely. There's so many, you could just, let me just show you these two. And then these two go together quite nicely. I love these two. I quite like the tea towel, the Tilda tea towel, and the basic ones from Tilda. I'd quite like as well to have a go at making a doll. I've got a couple of Tilda books. The other one is down there somewhere, but I'm not getting up again. I've been up and down like a yo-yo, haven't I, this podcast. But this is the Tilda book that I've got, Hot Chocolate Sewing. And there's a few things that I'd like to make in here. I'd quite like to have a go at making one of those. Those are just adorable. And I've got something very similar to that. And I've just ordered a spot, so I could make that. Quite like that. There's quite a few things in here that are really nice. These are nice too. I quite like these. They're like little zipper pouches. See, I'd quite like to make some of them and pop some of them in my shop. Something new, unusual and different. I'm not very big. I'd love to make one of these big quilts, but I'm not very big into making massive projects. I get bored too quickly. And I don't know if I've shown you this before. I quite like this as well. I'd quite like to make that. I prefer that one. But, I mean, they're both... Actually, I don't know if I prefer that one or that one. They're both nice, aren't they? Anyway, so yeah, that is... that's that. And I think, really, that's it all that I've got to show you when it comes to fabric and yarn and what I've made and what I'm finishing. I have just got one other thing that I want to make, what I want to show you. What Tim made for me. I wanted a tiny little shelf. Excuse me, I'm going to say that. I wanted a little tiny miniature shelf to put things like this on. Like this that I'd made. I love making things like this, as you know, and I've got such a lot lined up that I want to do. But I don't want to give them all away. I want to keep some of them, and I wanted somewhere nice to keep them. Anyway, I said to Tim, could you make me a nice little shelf out of some old wood that we'd got? And he said, of course I can. I'll upcycle some wood for you and I'll make you a nice little shelf. Obviously, it needs some kind of decoration. I want to paint it, and I don't know what else I want to do with it, but this is what it's come up with. And he's made me this little shelf. So I think I might paint it either a really nice soft pink, or I don't know, I might get some chalk paint. We're going to have a ride to B&Q sometime, not today but possibly tomorrow, and I'm going to paint it all one colour. I might get some nice, I don't know, decorative floral napkins and do a bit of decoupage up here. I have asked my friend Dawn from Dawn's Days. She's big into upcycling furniture, so I have asked her advice on Instagram to see what she thinks, and she's not got back to me yet, but I will wait to see what she says. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it. This is what he's done for me. I love how he's done it. He likes tinkering in his shed. He's got a really good shed, Tim. I don't know if any of you have seen it. If you haven't, I will put a picture in so you can have a look at him tinkering in his shed. It's brilliant when you're both retired and you need to get out of each other's hair. He goes in his shed, I come in my craft room, and it's ideal. It's just what every happy marriage should have, their own space. Anyway, so yeah, that's that. And other than that, I don't really think it's going to be quite a short one. Well, I feel like it's a short one. I don't know if it is. I have got a little bit of shop news to tell you. At the moment, there is a sale on in my shop. There's 20% off everything in the shop if you spend £20. I'm working at the moment on new stock for autumn winter. So I just thought I'd have a small sale in my shop and, you know, give you an opportunity to get something maybe a little bit cheaper. So yeah, at the moment, if you, like I say, if you spend over £20, there's 20% off everything that you buy. And other than that, there's nothing left for me to say, but thank you very, very much for sitting down and putting up with me rambling. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. I hope that if you are planning on getting out and about or even having a holiday, I know a few of you are, stay safe, have a fun time, and until next time, carry on crafting and take care, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.